What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video. Alright, so this is going to be an unboxing and an assembly video of the Joroto XM16 exercise bike. So without further ado, let's go ahead and open the box. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the top, just make sure there's no loose accessories up here on the top of the box, and then I'm going to go and flip it on its side and take the bike out from beneath. As always, you want to try to keep the box upright as much as possible. And also check for any damage during delivery. This box looks completely fine, so hopefully the bike has no damage. So let's go ahead and cut into this box really quick. And just to let you guys know, I did purchase the Joroto XM16 with my own money on Amazon. It was $369 and it came with $30 off, so it came out to $339.99. And after watching this video, if you guys are looking to purchase this bike, if you can please use my affiliate link in the description below. It won't cost you a single dime, a single penny, nothing like that. It's just gonna help support the channel, and every little bit helps. So I'd appreciate that. And if you guys are also interested in checking the bike out on Joroto's website, I also have a referral link. If you guys can go and use that link in the description below. And also along with that, I have a custom promo code that will get you guys $30 off of the sticker price that is already low as it is. So there you go. Anyways, thanks again, and let's continue with the review. So up here on the top, there's actually some plywood, and I do see some accessories here. So it looks like I got the water bottle holder here, and then some accessories inside this little box as well. All right, so carefully, you're gonna wanna set this on its side, just like so. And then take these flaps and fold them outward. There's that plywood I was talking about. Okay, and then lift the box straight up. Alright, so here's everything taken out of the box. You're going to want to cut all this tape and then carefully remove the styrofoam pieces, and then also remove all the little pieces from the actual frame itself. Instruction manual. Okay, so this is the actual stem. It holds the handlebars to the bike itself. Here's your seat or saddle. And by the way, to cut zip ties, I recommend you use some quality cutters just like these. All right, here is a close look at the actual seat post. Very nice. Wow. That is one good looking bike. And here are your handlebars. Now, one thing I did want to note is that you see this nice styrofoam block here, and then there's also some styrofoam beneath the wheel as well. And that's to support this heavy flywheel from taking any damage in the bearings. During shipment, a lot of times these bikes are very heavy. They're lifted and dropped a lot of times. So that's good to know that that's there to protect your bearings. So let's go ahead and take these out now. So this is a little tag that lets you know that this left side of the crank needs the left side pedal, because on the left side it's actually reverse thread. So that's just there as a reminder. I'm going to go ahead and cut that off now, only because I already know that in advance. And then this also is another sticker letting you know that it is reverse thread as well. So let's go ahead and peel that off. And I'll go into detail on the pedal installation in just a moment. So as you can see here, this bike does come with a pretty big and cushy saddle. This is probably going to fit more of the general people looking into getting into spin cycling. For someone like me who's like an outdoor cyclist, this is probably going to be a little bit too uncomfortable, only because we're used to riding those streamlined professional performance saddles. But one thing to note is that the saddle is on standard rails, so you can also swap these out for anything else. If you're using SDG or WTB or anything like that, you can swap it out to anything that you'd like. As you can see here, some pretty robust handlebars. I like the rubber coating on them as well. It's rubberized and also foam padded as well, as you can see there. It's probably got about maybe 1/4 of an inch or a little bit under that of padding all the way around. But I'm liking the diameter, and also the shape seems pretty nice as well. This might act like a little bit of an aero bar as well, so curious to see how that's gonna come into play. So this is gonna be your front and rear stabilizer bars. As you can see here, very robust cylinder design. I'm liking that kind of commercial grade look and feel to them as well. Definitely a good looking part. And then here is the front. As you can see here, these are the transport wheels. Pretty basic, but they should be able to get the job done, no problem at all. So this is gonna be all your pop pins for the handlebars and saddle. liking these designs as well. Looks like all four are identical. So here are the pedals. I'm not going to open these only because I'm not going to be using these actually, but they do feature a flat platform on one side, and then you do get your toe cage in there as well to sink your foot in there, and they have these straps to lock in your shoes for a nice tight fit. And like I said, I'm going to be using some other pedals. These ones are actually made by Joroto as well. So the model number here is STX95R, and check these out. Woo-wee. Definitely super nice already, I can tell. So check these out, guys. So here's a close-up look at the pedal itself. You can see the Joroto branding right there in the center. And it does have the toe cage with the adjustable strap. And you're gonna notice some rubberized texture here to really lock your shoes in even better. But on the other side, check this out. SPD clipless, baby. Oh yes. Very nice. And it does have a screw right down there in the center where you can adjust the tension depending on how you like your shoes locked in. So I'm going to be installing these on the bike and see how they do, only because I prefer to be clipped in, and then you still have the option of going with traditional gym shoes if that's what you want to do. And then here is your part and tool set. So it does come with the 4 bolts and nuts and washers, and then you get a couple Allen wrenches, a box wrench, open-ended wrench, and then a couple more screws as well. This is a multi-tool with a Phillips head and some other wrench sizes as well. This is also going to be your pedal wrench. This of course is your bottle cage. This one's actually metal, but the thing I like about these metal ones is that you can actually bend these in and out depending on the size of your bottle that you're using. And this is your actual computer and tablet holder. So here it is right here. It's a nice foam pad for your device. Nice little LCD screen with a single button for the multi-functions. There also is a wire connection that's going to be connecting onto the bike as well. And then a little instruction manual, and you also do get 2 AAA batteries. One thing I did want to note on the seat post and also the post for the handlebar is that there is some grease applied, and I'm guessing that's just to make sure that these don't lock into place. So you're going to want to make sure to clean that off once you get everything assembled. Alright, so what you want to do first is attach your front stabilizer bar to the bike, and there's really only one way to put this on. You want the wheels not facing up like this, but you want them down like that, because the actual mounting poles are actually in the back, so it's going to rotate it ever so slightly like this. I'm going to add some styrofoam underneath the front of this. And you want to take your 2 bolts here, go and unthread the tops of them here. And you also want to take off the washers, and then go ahead and insert each one of these into their respective holes here. That through the bottom. Take your rounded washers, make sure they're rounded towards the round side of the bike here. One on each side, and then take each one of these nuts here and screw them in hand tight. And go ahead and tighten these down. And you're gonna also want to make sure to not mar any of the painted surfaces here. Okay, once that's all tightened up, you can go ahead and lift the bike and remove the styrofoam. Now that that's all done, let's go ahead and move to the back of the bike. Alright, so back here in the back of the bike, the process is exactly the same, only you don't have a heavy flywheel here in the back, so it's going to be a lot easier to lift up. This is not needed in the installation, by the way, so go ahead and discard this. Go ahead and insert each one of your bolts from the bottom upward. And then while holding it from the bottom, feed it through, put your rounded washer on, finger tighten these, rounded washer, finger tight. Okay, now all that's left is to tighten it with your wrench. So now go ahead and lift the bike up and discard of the foam. Alright, so at this point, now that you have both stabilizer bars installed, go ahead and give the bike a quick shake. Things should be solid. If not, double check the tightness on your nuts and bolts there. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and install the seat post. So like I said, some pre-applied grease there. Go ahead and disconnect that, flip it around, and reattach it so the post is upright. And then go ahead and insert your seat post into the frame, like so. And then go ahead and take one of your pop pins, start inserting it into the frame itself. And I'm going to leave it like that for now. Okay, so as far as the rail for your seat, you're going to make sure to insert it front to back. And go ahead and take another pop pin and go ahead and thread this in. When you thread these in, you want to make sure that these are threading straight in and do not cross thread. And then go ahead and do it finger tight at first until you get a lock on there. And you'll feel the threads bite. And just go ahead and cinch it all the way down for now. Just like so. There you go. Okay, and then as far as your saddle goes, it literally sits right on top of this post here. Just like so. And by the way, you can also angle your saddle up or down, depending on your preference. All you gotta do is loosen this till it's loose and then angle it accordingly. Like I recommend every person do is just start out with it level, which is currently in the level position right now. So I'm gonna leave it as is and just crank it down. And also make sure that it's straight front to back and not sideways or anything like that. So it's about good there. And I also like to tighten one side at a time. All right, now for the handlebars. So this post inserts straight down into this area here. Go ahead and take another pop pin. This one threads in at an angle over here. And locks into place. There you go. And then also while I'm up here as well, I'm going to go ahead and take another pop pin and insert it directly under here. And this is the area where you adjust the fore and aft of your handlebars. I'm going to go ahead and set it right here, right in the middle for now. Okay, and as for the installation of the handlebars, they just sit right on top here. And then you have 4 screws that are going to thread in from the top down. So just go ahead and use one arm to kind of stabilize the bars while you tighten down one screw. And once you get that one screw in there, you'll be able to install the rest of the 4. Inserting these straight down and not cross threading. This area is a little bit of a tight fit, so I'm actually going to use a tool, but I'm actually going to be using just finger tightness. Okay, so this threaded in nice and easy. And then before tying them all down, I'm going to go ahead and throw a leg over the bike and just make sure that the bars are straight, because they could actually be rotated one way or another. So right there looks pretty good. And then we're going to tighten these down in an X pattern. Alright, and before I install the computer and tablet mount to this area, I'm actually going to go ahead and insert the 2 batteries in ahead of time, and then go ahead and close the lid. And there you see the LCD screen, all the different functions there. So you have time, speed, distance, calories, odometer, RPM. Alright, and there are 2 Phillips head screws back here, so go ahead and remove those. And then go ahead and thread your single wire right here down the center. And then thread your 2 screws underneath. And then all you do to install it is tighten those 2 screws down. One thing that I did want to note that's kind of cool is this is actually adjustable. So if you want your tablet either higher up or lower down, it's all up to you. I'm going to go ahead and leave it in the low position and then tighten these down. So underneath the frame here is the other attachment for that cable, and it actually is spiral bound, so it is kind of spring loaded. So just go ahead and connect it together. You want to make sure to connect those at the same angle. Alright, and then last but certainly not least is the installation of the pedals. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the left side here, and like I said earlier, the pedals are actually direction specific. So for the left side of the crank arm, you're gonna make sure to get your left pedal. So I'm gonna take my upgraded Joroto pedals here. So it's actually lefty tighty. So go ahead and start threading this in by hand. Again, you're aiming for that nice straight angle. And once you feel it start to thread in, go ahead and tighten it by hand. So I'm going to take my own pedal wrench here, which is a Spin Doctor pedal wrench. And I'm going to get a nice grip on the pedal itself. And in case you forget which direction you need to go, it's always forward towards the front of the bike. Just like so. And something that helps is actually if you get on the other side, and kind of hold the other crank arm as you tighten it down. And that's pretty tight there. All right, so right side of the bike, the right pedal. Make sure this is not angled and make sure it's going straight in. And you will feel the threads kind of bite. Just take care not to cross thread. Spinning this righty-tighty forwards towards the front of the bike. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and hop over to the other side of the bike here. To get it to an angle right about there. Hold the other pedal while you tighten this side down. And there you go. All right, and the installation for the bottle cage, it's as simple as removing these two screws and reinstalling. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and clip into the bike here with my mountain bike shoes. I do have the SPD cleat on the bottom here. And let's just go ahead and give it a pedal and also give you guys a sense of the noise level as well. So like I said previously, the tension of the cleats are actually adjustable as well. But so far they feel okay. I probably want them a little bit tighter as well. Q factor is actually not too bad on this bike. It's actually quite a bit narrower than a lot of the other spin bikes in this price range. So that gives you a sense of the noise level on the bike. So the noise level, I'd give it probably about a 7 out of 10. Definitely isn't noisy by any means, but it could be a little bit quieter. But I'm sure that once you get your music going or your apps like Peloton, Zwift, you're really not going to notice that at all. I'll ramp up the resistance a little bit. Actually a lot. So that's full right there, and it is definitely tough. Definitely get a stand-up crank. Nice long climb going here. Resistance is definitely good. I'm gonna back it out again. Lights up. This is actually your brake as well. You just push it down and then go ahead and give you a good brake on there as well. So like I said, the water bottle is nice and out of the way of your legs. Pedaling, standing up, seated, not a problem. Taking out, not a problem as well. I'm actually gonna take a drink of water while I'm at it. Oh, that is good. Whew. Brake to stop. Alright, and as far as the tablet mount goes, I've got Peloton running right now, and I can easily just set that right in there, even with the case intact. Pretty cool. Alright, so my overall impressions of the bike, definitely positive. I'd give the design actually the most impressive feature of this bike. Definitely a 10 out of 10. It actually surprised me quite a bit. I mean, for 369 bucks, so the way that this thing looks, this looks literally twice to 3 times that cost. I really like the design of the chain guard here, or the belt guard. Really love the industrial style tubing, how it's all square edged. It looks very industrial and very high quality. Black and red, can't go wrong with that. Highlights of chrome as well. Super, super nice looking bike here. As far as the build quality goes, that's another 10 out of 10 for me. Honestly, I was expecting some type of rocking or some type of loose part. Didn't get any of that. Everything is literally solid. Didn't get any clicking whatsoever. No noise, no nothing like that, no rattling. Everything is very, very sturdy. As far as the ride quality goes, I'd give it probably a good 8 out of 10. It's definitely a good feeling spin. As you can see here, the Q factor is not bad at all. Bikes in this price range, even bikes upwards of $1,000, have a larger Q factor, and this feels pretty natural. Very robust stabilizers, front and rear, provide for a very stable ride. Really like the cup holder here. Of course, it's only one bottle holder, but gets the job done in my opinion. Magnetic resistance, can't go wrong with that. Worked quite well. I felt the range was decent enough. I think it could be a little bit more as far as the range goes. I think it could be a little bit lighter as well as a little bit heavier as well. So this sits a little bit more in the middle of the spectrum. So take that into consideration as well. It's got the 2 wheels up front for transport and ease of mobility. And I really like the handlebars, foam padded, nice and grippy, nice and comfortable as well. You get positions 1, 2, and 3. And I actually like how this is kinked out a little bit because it provides for a nice comfortable spot to rest your arms on. Tablet holder worked just fine as well. I actually liked how it has a recessed channel in the middle for your phone to really sink in there as well. Pretty nice. And then regarding your data metrics here, pretty nice and easy to see with a single button here. So you have your time, your speed, distance, calories burned, your odometer, and then your RPMs, which is also your cadence. And then I like the adjustability on both the bars and the saddle as well. You get 4-way adjustability, so up and down, fore and aft as well. So very nice and adjustable and easy to find that comfortable positioning. Typical system of tightening and loosening, and then also push to stop, which is a brake, and it compresses all the way down into the flywheel. But because the magnets are so close to the flywheel, that's what causes that brake functionality. And then like I said, I did upgrade the pedals to these Joroto pedals that have the SPD cleat. So keep that in mind that these are not included in the box. And then the flywheel, that's something too that impressed me as well. With it being 30 pounds, I thought it was going to be a little bit lighter and not really have very much inertia, but it's the exact opposite. It actually feels more like it's like 35 pounds in my opinion. It feels pretty good as far as the inertia goes. As you can see there, definitely some very high inertia on that wheel. And probably my favorite part of the bike is actually this belt cover here. I think it just looks very high quality. Probably something in more of like the $1,000 bike range. Definitely a very nice product, and actually plastic is actually pretty high quality as well. Usually these things are pretty flimsy, but I really like this one. But anyways guys, that's gonna sum up my assembly video and review of the Joroto XM16. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching this as much as I enjoyed making this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys on the next one.